While Sheikh Hamdan was busy handling state matters in India, a quiet storm was building back home, one that would explode the moment he landed. Behind palace walls, decisions were being made about his daughter, life-altering ones, and not a single person thought to tell him. By the time he returned to Dubai, whispers had turned into full-blown arrangements. A marriage proposal involving his little girl was already in motion, approved, celebrated, and practically finalized. The people behind it? Not strangers. It was his own family, and what happened next would send shockwaves through the royal household. While Sheikh Hamdan was deep in diplomatic meetings abroad, his current wife, Sheikha Thani, made a bold and controversial move. She approached Sheikh Mohammed, Hamdan's father, with a proposal that would send ripples through the royal bloodline. Her idea? To arrange a marriage between little Sheikha, Hamdan's young daughter, with his ex-wife, Haadiya, and the son of Hamdan's sister, a boy still tied to Bahraini royalty. It wasn't a suggestion, it was a plan. And the most shocking part? Sheikh Mohammed didn't just listen. He gave her full authority to move forward. No one asked the father of the child. No one informed the mother. In that moment, the future of little Sheikha was being decided in secret, and not a single parent was in the room. But that wasn't the only blindside waiting to unfold. The very next day, Sheikha Thani made her next move. Confident and composed, she called Sheikh Hamdan's sister, the mother of the proposed groom, to deliver the good news. She congratulated her on the upcoming union, said it was a blessing, that everything had already been arranged with full approval. But the call didn't land the way Thani expected. Sheikha, the sister, was stunned. The words hit her like a cold wave. Her nephew and little Sheikha, married at this age. She held her tongue, thanked Thani politely, but deep down she knew something was off. Why was a marriage being discussed without the parents? Why hadn't Hamdan or Haadiya said anything? Quietly, she made a decision. She needed to hear it from her brother directly. Because if what Thani said was true, something was seriously wrong. By the time Sheikh Hamdan returned to Dubai, the palace walls were already buzzing. A loyal servant, someone who had quietly witnessed the whispers and backroom talks, stepped forward and told him everything. The proposed marriage, the secret approval, Thani's bold move while he was away. Hamdan said nothing at first, just listened, but then came the call that confirmed it all. His sister, still unsettled by her earlier conversation, phoned him directly. She asked him straight, "Is it true? Did you agree to marry your daughter to my son?" The question hit him like a slap. Hamdan froze. He hadn't approved anything. He hadn't even heard of such a thing. And now, not only was the plan in motion, but people believed he had given it his blessing. His voice was calm, but underneath it was pure fire. He assured his sister, "No, I never agreed to this, and I need to find out who did." What followed was not just a confrontation, it was the beginning of a storm. Sheikh Hamdan didn't wait. He summoned Sheikha Thani immediately. When she walked into the room, she was calm, too calm, but Hamdan wasn't interested in small talk. He went straight to the point. "Did you plan my daughter's marriage behind my back?" Thani didn't flinch. Instead, she defended herself with a chilling confidence. She claimed it was for little Sheikha's future, that a marriage into Bahraini royalty would protect her, that she was doing what Hamdan couldn't, securing the girl's place in the family. Hamdan's eyes burned. "You went to my father. You made a deal. You used my daughter to hurt Haadiya." That's when it became clear. This wasn't just about family ties or royal alliances. This was personal. Thani denied it all, said she acted with Sheikh Mohammed's full blessing. But Hamdan wasn't interested in excuses. This was about control, about betrayal, and about a woman who dared to move the chess pieces while the king was away. But if Thani thought Hamdan would stay silent, she was wrong, because now he was heading straight to the one man who let it all happen. Moments later, Sheikh Hamdan was standing in front of his father, Sheikh Mohammed, ruler of Dubai, head of the family, and sat unfazed, as if this entire situation were just another day in the palace. But Hamdan wasn't here as a prince. He was here as a father. "You approved a marriage for my daughter," he said, trying to stay calm. "Without telling me, without telling her mother?" Sheikh Mohammed nodded. No denial, no hesitation. "It's a good match," he replied. "Thani explained it well." That's when something shifted. Hamdan wasn't just shocked. He was angry in a way few had ever seen. For a brief moment, royal protocol faded. The son stared down the ruler. "I'm her father. You don't get to give away my child without me." The silence between them was deafening. This wasn't just a disagreement, it was a fracture, one that had been forming quietly over years of politics, power, and unspoken expectations. Hamdan didn't wait for a response. He turned and walked out, the weight of betrayal pressing down on every step. But the damage was done, and the next phone call would take things even further. This time, from the one person they all underestimated. Just when things couldn't get any worse, Sheikha Thani made her boldest move yet. She picked up the phone and called Haadiya Zen, Sheikh Hamdan's ex-wife and the mother of little Sheikha. But this wasn't a discussion. It was a cold, calculated announcement. "Congratulations," Thani said. "Your daughter is getting married into the Bahraini royal family." Haadiya didn't speak, didn't breathe. She just sat there, the words echoing in her mind. Then, as calmly as she could, she ended the call and immediately dialed Sheikh Hamdan. What followed was explosive. She unleashed years of frustration, accused him of being weak, of letting Thani pull the strings, of failing to protect their daughter. Hamdan tried to explain, but Haadiya wasn't interested. Her voice shook with rage. "You've lost control of your house," she said, "and if you won't fix this, I will." And just before hanging up, she left him with a warning that chilled him to the bone. "I'm going to do something no one will forget." The line went dead. And for the first time in a long time, Sheikh Hamdan wasn't just angry. He was scared. With the palace in chaos and his world unraveling, Sheikh Hamdan turned to the only person who still brought him peace, Shamma. Late that night, away from the noise and judgment, he called her. She didn't ask questions. She already knew something was wrong. Hamdan told her everything: the secret proposal, Thani's betrayal, his father's role, Haadiya's threat. For once, he didn't try to sound composed. He sounded tired, worn out, cornered. Shamma listened quietly, then said something he didn't expect. "You need to be ready," she told him, "because Haadiya isn't bluffing. If she feels like her daughter's being used, she will go to war for her." Hamdan didn't respond. He just stared at the floor. "And Thani," Shamma continued, "she's not done either. You're stuck between two women who want control, and right now, you have none." Her words stung, but they were true. For the first time in his life, Sheikh Hamdan, the Crown Prince of Dubai, had no idea what would happen next. All he knew was that the battle for little Sheikha had just begun. With lines drawn and tempers boiling, Sheikh Hamdan stands in the middle of a storm he never saw coming. His daughter's future, once protected behind palace gates, is now the center of a power struggle between his current wife, his ex-wife, and his own father, and the one person who was never asked what she wanted was little Sheikha herself. Haadiya's warning still lingers in the air. What will she do next? Fight for custody? Go public? Or something even more drastic? And what about Thani? Will she back down or double down? Even Sheikh Mohammed's authority isn't untouchable now, as cracks begin to show within the royal family's united image. One thing is clear: this isn't just a family disagreement, it's a royal crisis, and the next move could change everything. So the question remains: can Sheikh Hamdan regain control, or is the Crown Prince slowly losing his grip on everything that matters? Stay tuned, because in our next video, we'll dive into Haadiya's next move and why it might be the boldest one she's ever made.